No people in here yet. That's okay. I am 54, 53, 50. 55, 56, 50, 54. Do I have a 53 on there? That's a good question. This is a 54. That's a 54. What one do I have on there? Guess I'll have to take a peek, look and see. What's going on? All right, there's 54. I'm looking at gears. If I go racing, at Hunterstown, I asked about a gearing for Hunterstown. Yeah. And I was just trying to figure out what's going on here. What do these go? Oh, those are the originals of that. I got it. I'm figuring it out. Oh, goodness. There's there a 53 on there. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Is that 49? I think that's a 40. Yeah, 49, 50, 51, 52. So it's either there's a 53 right there. What's this one? That's a 54. So 54, 55, 56. Okay. It's a 53 that's on there. Nice. So that's correct. I just got to change over my... I got to change over my clutch gear. Hello from Wisconsin. my voice. My voice. I have the voice of a Wisconsinite, or something. Somebody said one time. Is that how you say that? Wisconsinite? 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 No. Yeah, it's gotta be Wisconsinite. Oh goodness! In the barn. I'm not freezing today. Yes, I got it right. Cool. I wanted this container here for my preps that I had been filling this past couple weeks here. So I'm going to have to move my gears. I have a gear rack, but these, I'm not sure it'll work with the mini gears or not. We're going to check it out. Oh, hold on. I'll be right with it. Oh, no. Maybe I took it. Maybe it's out in the trailer. Never mind. The preps are going to go in this. This will be way more handy. See, I reduced the size of what I have to take for prep. That's great. Oh, no more gallons. And I might be able to fit some, but or do I want something I'm slightly bigger so I can put the sandwich containers in? That might be a thing. But I got to find somewhere to put these gears. I got to find it. Oh, I know. I got some ammo cans, but they didn't actually have ammo in them. But I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right with you. So that got stuff in it. Yes, but is that tall enough for them? We're going to test this one. All right. I have returned. I might as well, instead of just standing here and staring at you guys type, I will obviously, do my due diligence and answer any questions that come about. But I might as well get some work while I'm done out here. How many sets of tires do you take? So for Hunterstown, I'm an open tire guy because of UAS. That being said, I don't hate tire rules because honestly, it simplifies things, at least for me. So when I go UAS racing, you never know what the track's going to take. Usually you take at least 3 brands. I'm going to say you're going to take Burris, Vegas, and Maxxis or something along those lines. All right? Yep. Maybe Reapers. But it's just the way it is. When you're an open tire guy, you have to take everything. Like true open tire guy, not the Southern I want to run Maxxis and it's a Reaper rule open tire guy. It it's a pain. It's a pain prepping all that because when you go to a big event and if you don't know for definite what tires are, what works there, you just got to take the whole shoot match with you. That being said, why am I saying that? Anyway, I am taking 3 sets of Reapers with me down to Hunterstown if I go. I got they're both my new sets are both 2025s, so they got a bit of age to them, which is going to be excellent. I got a what year or what was the date on them? I have some week 15 25s, and the ones I just got from JC are week 21, so not that much older than the other ones. And then I have a set of 23s. If the track gets really, really good, which I don't fully expect, Hunterstown does get real good, but with the temperatures that have been around, I got a fairly good set of 23s that I've done a little work to them, but since have sat, but they feel real grippy. So I'm going to take 3 sets. Chances are I will be, if I had to take a guess, I'm probably going to be on the older 25s. But if the track never comes around, I'm going to be on the new 25s. The older 23s are definitely for like midsummer when the track really gets good. Just my opinion on that. Whether or not is there going to be enough room? Maybe. Oh, we have the answer right here, boys and girls. Maybe there's a girl in here. This is going to work. Mint. Ammo can to the rescue. Oh, and that fits there. I could fit at least 4 more in here if I want to. Maybe I'll go to Walmart tomorrow if I remember. Maybe I'll meander over and grab 4 more, and just in case. Here's I don't want to. Well, I could switch around my camera, I guess. My look at that. Oh, like a dream. Oh, that works. That works mint. I like that a lot. Set you back up here. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. Actually, the mini gears. I have more ammo cans. I bet you I could just put everything in consolidate all my preps. Now, I am, like I said, I'm going to have to probably have a separate container. I have one bigger ammo can there. I have one that I used to carry. I have one that I carry light weight in. I have multiple ammo cans around here. Where'd I put them? That's a problem when you got a big barn like this. I can't wait. The intention of this summer is for us to get a dumpster, because up in the loft here is just garbage from my mother and her old neighbor. You can't see my breath. And her mother's neighbor, my grandma and her neighbor, Billy. I remember her name. She's a super nice lady. Anyway, we got a bunch of their crap up there. Well, the mourning doves and the bats have destroyed everything that is upstairs, and Christmas break or whatever. I got at her. I'm like, Mom, do you want anything that's up in the loft of the barn? And she says, I don't remember what's up there. Throw it away. And I'm like, can do. So that is gonna, if I am able to do that, dumpster, get rid of all that crap, get it cleaned up, pretty nice. I can't really stop the bats. They get in anyway. The squirrels too. I'll try and keep the squirrels out best I can, but I'm going to be able to put stuff that I don't want to throw out, or organize it and put it upstairs and get it out of the shop so I have room to breathe, because this is getting quite overwhelming down here. For such a big barn, like just pan around here. I mean, I got lots of room, but I also got just a crap ton of stuff, man. And I've been through it I've been through quite a bit of it. I cleaned a little this winter, and it seems like I got it somewhat under control. But I'm telling you, like a lot of the stuff there, like I'm looking at an old belt sander. It's something I don't want to throw away. Something that I could, I could possibly use someday, either for tires or home improvement or whatever. I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't need it down here right now. If I can get some shelving up there and store stuff, it'll just get it out of my hair and giving myself some floor room. It's going to be sweet. I really, I hope. I am doing fine. How are you? A little cold, but it's New York. This is not cold, but yeah. So I mounted up I got to mount up these. Got some white Maxes down to JC for their open house. I got to dismount, I think, the pinks and blues, all except for one set. I'll keep one set just in case. That's for the open. My newest set of pinks and blues, I'll keep those mounted. But I think I got 2 sets I can dismount there. I really got to go through, because I got to find room. I got 2 new sets of Burris 33 sitting over there for this year. I was going to sell one of my sets of 11s on rims, but I don't think I can spare the rims. So they might get, they might just get sold as tires. But I gotta, one of these days pretty soon here, I'm just going to have to go on a breakdown and just start. I got a pile of, I got Vega Blues here that I'll never use. Where am I from? I'm from New York. Western New York, to be more specific. I got a ton of tires here, and I'll have to, I'll cut the sidewalls out of them or something. If I just the Vega Blues that I have are old, and I mean they got to be punching like 80. They're crazy hard. They're probably 6 years old, 8 years old, somewhere in there. I think the newest set I got for the Nationals in 2023. Oh, okay, they're 3 years old. So the newest set of Vega Blues I have is from 2023. They're hard. Ugh. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm from Kurdistan. Okay, well, nice to meet you too. Yeah. So lots going on in the shop still here. 1 second again. I'm gonna go grab that ammo can I was looking at. Maybe 2 if I see 2. There's 1. All right. Dude, I have more of these. Where are they? Oh, here's a small one. That's not gonna do. Oh, maybe that'll be alright for gears. This did have ammo in it. Shh. All right, so there's that. I think this small one might be all right for the mini gears. And then I can label it accordingly. Oh, like a glove. I did want to take that, though. Maybe the bigger one would be better. Those do fit in there, but so I plan on taking... Who's who in the back? What is this in the back? That is my Kart. That's my Kart. This is a Kart channel. We do dirt kart racing here. I have a standard gear here. Got the accelerator gear guard on there with the 6T3. I have that. I probably don't need to take these since I have the accelerator, but I have the aluminum guards for that, for the mini gear. Oh, no, this is for the mini gears that actually goes on the Kart. Probably stash them to the side. Yeah. But I want to take this with me in case I got to go beyond a 56. If I run something like an 11 tooth or a 13 tooth or something like that, and I gotta run more rear gear. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, gonna change. I got a 13 here. I got a 53 on the Kart right now. Oh, that's what was blinking. I was wondering what was blinking as my lapse. Does anybody know is there a difference between transponders between tracks? Like Hunterstown, going to Hunterstown, is there a difference in what transponder you run, or do they run my laps? That's a question. A friend of mine, I think he still runs Hunterstown, Ron Pritt. I posed him a question last night, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. He's a busy guy. No harm, no foul or anything. I got time to figure it out, but also it'd be nice to know if I got to rent at the track or if my laps is fine. Anybody catch the Ultimate Kart Media guys last night? I almost forgot about it, and then I happened to tune into it. I was out here in the barn last night cleaning up some stuff, and then I remembered that they were on, and they had MC on, of MC Motorsports. And they talked, we run my laps yellow, but in the race car, we run the red. Okay. I was just curious if there's different brands that you know, tracks would run or something. Don't actually know. Here's a jack shaft. Yeah. Don't need to carry this stuff with me anymore. I don't run the open all that often. And if I do run the open, these are BMI style jack shafts. I don't even have the legs for them anymore, so I don't say they're worthless, but they don't particularly do anybody any good without the legs. Do have some jack shaft tubes for the Bama though. Those come in handy. You know, in carts as far as I know. Okay, yeah, I guess I was under the assumption that they're all the same or close to the same. You know, you go up and give them your number for your transponder. They write it down, they enter it in the computer, and then that would pick up, you know, the signature. Got some lever plates for a clutch. Don't know when I'll ever use them, but let's put them in the clutch bin. That's that. All right, now mini gears will go in here. This will just be my gear. Oh, that fits mint. Probably throw this in there for craps and giggles here. But yeah, last night MC was on, and that guy's a wealth of knowledge. Obviously, the 811 kart is storied in you know, his reputation about what they can do in tires and setup and everything else. And it was, I've heard their, you know, I heard the live stream on Four Takes and Fuel when they had him on there, and that was really good. But it just a little refresher having him on that show last night was pretty cool. You know, obviously the days of Shea Chavis and stuff, and now they have Williamson. Got themselves some wheels. You know, getting stuff done, winning the big races. Pretty cool. I just I thought it was pretty awesome. But yeah, just tinkering out in the barn, man. But here's. Did I turn it off? It doesn't matter. Okay. There's just snap. You know. Oh, check it out. I got the slider on. Left is loose, right is tight. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Be able to tighten my chain without undoing the butterflies on the bottom. Like that a lot. Whoa, wrench there. I know people said that sometimes they have problems with this. Obviously, if I have any problems whatsoever, if these come loose or whatever they're going to do, I'll replace those with, I believe it's 3/8. I'll go down to Tractor Supply and whatever, but this is what the Kart is looking like. I did drill last night. I drilled another hole. This is the Kaler. WK legal, so it's got those. but the Kaler mount here, because everybody asks me where I run my Insta 360 mounts here. So this was setting my Micron way up too high, and you couldn't really see me, for that dual shot there. So I actually raised this up a little bit. And then right here is where my Insta 360 goes, so it gets back and forth. I do like the shots that like Degenerate Garage and stuff gets, and he's made a mount that goes over here on like the Nerf. I like the dual shot. I think it's pretty cool. But here's what obviously I got some tinkering to do yet. I might have some more 5.3 titanium stuff coming. Kyle at 5.3 titanium is gonna. He has a treatment. He does the bearings, and he wants some feedback on them because he wants to start promoting them. A combination of oils and such. I'm not sure. He says it bonds with the metal and makes them really rotate really free, which is awesome. I'll take any kind of reduction in parasitic loss that I can get, but I'm curious to get the cart on the scales here. I got to get the Reapers all mounted up. I want to scale with the new tires just to see, stagger them and all that stuff, see where all my numbers are. But since I've lost 25 pounds, I'm curious where I'm going to weigh in at. Last year, I scaled out at 375, so might be 350. Which just opens up some avenues for classes I can run. It kind of takes me, out of the realm. If I get anywhere below 200 pounds, it takes me out of running sumo or super heavy because you got to be 200 pounds. But it frees me up to run the lower classes, which is okay by me. All the tires, the guy with the most tires usually wins. Sidewall, spring, and then getting a hold of the track. Yep. I won't say that karting is all tires. It takes all three things. If you got a crap driver who makes mistakes, who doesn't make decisive decisions when you need to make it, it can cause you major problems. I'm not saying tires are they're definitely on the forefront of it, but I've done a video on this. No matter if you have great tires or not, you have to balance that with setup and have the driver to be able to wheel it. So with saying that you're even Steven with a driver's abilities. Okay, then it comes to chassis and tires. Now, the reason I mentioned chassis is if you are only good at tires, yet your balance of the cart is off, then you're going to cause one of the tires to overheat, not heat up enough, that type of thing. Prep is great, but it is not a magic make everybody can do everything. We all, a lot of us have prep, and it's who's the best at choosing what prep, what internal, all these things, choices on the night and everything. But say you take an even driver and you have even tires. You have two things there. Then it comes down to chassis and how well the chassis is set up for that particular night on that particular set of tires. Because if you're really good at tires, but somebody else is really good at tires, you're even. Nobody's ahead of one another. Then it does fall back on one of the other things. It falls back on chassis setup. It falls back on the driver. So yes, tires are very important, but if you take somebody with less experience at racing clone, if you put me in a race with the Chase Williamsons and Shea Chavises and Knopfs and all them, and you put me on even chassis, even tires, and it's me, chances are, because I'm not skilled, I don't have the skill set that they do, that is going to be a failure point. And so even though everything's good, there's going to be a weak link somewhere in there. And that weak link, can be one of those three things at any time. Can you tell us how to take good corners? It depends on momentum, and corner speed is king. So ideally, don't turn into the corner too soon. You try and it's a balancing act. if you hang out too long, you conceivably give somebody a run on you, so you're opening the door. So you have to take high enough line into the corner that you're continuing that momentum and not braking a whole lot. You could, there's varying methods of braking. You can trail brake, you can, ease on your brakes, all sorts of things, but keeping your momentum through the turn. If you do have to lift, being smooth back to the gas, reducing the amount of time you're off throttle is always good. So ideally, you enter high and you come off not low, but you allow the cart to carry you where that speed is not reduced. So if you enter a corner high, if you pull down on the wheel and you try and exit low, you're scrubbing speed off. So you don't want to turn your wheel a ton. Some tracks it's necessary, but for the most part, if your hands should be not still, but they should make minor adjustments to it, allowing the cart to carry the speed that it wants to carry off the turn, keeps your momentum up for the next straightaway, for the next corner. So it depends on track, what style of driving you're at, who you're racing, all sorts of things. So it's kind of not a loaded question, but a very difficult question to answer. If you're good at tires, you're gonna be a driver and know that the chassis needs money buys speed and how fast you want to go. Money best spent on tires. I don't disagree. Yes, but I will say there is I want to say, what's the adjective I'm looking for here? There are a lot of people, and I've met some of them, and no disrespect to any of them. I'm obviously not going to name names or anything like that, but they just set the cart to what factory says. Put these numbers on it, and they never touch a chassis. They just work tires. It may work, but somebody like MC, like some of the top dogs, they know what to do with the chassis beyond that. They don't just put it at factory settings and then run that and then expect that the tires are going to carry them onto the next victory. The people who actually can blend the two are going to excel further than somebody who doesn't touch their chassis at all. If you just set it up in the shop and then show up and you never touch your chassis, you only work tires, you're going to be fast, but there's somebody that conceivably could be more fast, and they may make the chassis adjustment to get more speed out of it. So yes, stay off the brakes as much as possible. Yeah, absolutely. Some tracks, I instantly, especially clone racing, you're absolutely right. I think of the open, and you can't just lift off the gas in an open. Brakes are mandatory when you're running. We'll take a low estimate, 65 to 70 horsepower, which is the Bama, which I run, and some of the UAS rides are the big Jawas, the big 450, 500 cc 4-strokes. They got to be 80, 90 horsepower. If not, somebody's got some sauce up near 100. That's insane. We're still only on a 6-inch wheel. So, to each their own. If you can get that much horsepower, but it's not a drag strip, you got to turn. But yes, instantly when somebody tells me to stay off the brakes, I was just like, what car are you talking about? Because one of them, you better be on the brakes or you're in trouble. I mean, even in I bring up the NASCAR and stuff. I try not to use a ton of brake there. Some tracks it's absolutely. I ran Iowa last night, and if you weren't on the brakes, you were in trouble. But I try, and the same as I try and drive that game as I would drive a clone with as little, if no brake, as possible. But sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes using your brakes is a necessity. Oh, these were out here last week. I meant to bring them up. I know it's backwards, but Sky High Seal Savers. Pardon me. Jake got these out to me. I haven't put them on the cart. I haven't done a short or anything yet because here's what they look like. 3D printed. These will, you know, I did the video on removing or taking off the metal and being able to service your bearings. These go where the metal part once was. So it's got notches, so you can have your set screws on there and everything. But I got a bunch of these. These will, I'll be making a short or something showing these off. I think he sent me, looks like I got some 206 and 207 because I never stated whether or not, you know, what I have here. So sent me both. So those, as soon as I get the bearings from 5.3 Titanium and Kyle, I'll be probably making a short on those. That'll be pretty cool. I love when I get stuff that I get to make content with. I run L206. Yep. Yeah, definitely. You're definitely going to want to stay off the brakes in one of those things. I always thought it was funny. So back before I got into clone racing, you know, all I ran was the open, and you know, I'd hear people like, "Oh, that clone makes some power," and I'm just like, does it really? And now that I run a clone, I understand where they're coming from. You can feel you can feel and see the difference when an engine is, you know, down a quarter horse or something like that. You can feel the surge at the end of the turn, getting into the turn, and how much they pull or not. Do I prep my tires all through the week or just day of? Depends on what I run. Probably the two brands that need extra prep work, I run the least now. I used to run a lot of Aggie Yellows, and I sparingly run Maxxis. Both those brands, I think, excel when you prep them during the week, when you do more maintenance to them. The other two brands that I have in the shop right now, Burris and Reaper, in my opinion, do not excel when you over prep them. I know, you know, some people disagree with me. They like the internal Reapers. I do not. Some people internal Burris. I do not. A lot of people do not. But they, I don't want to say it's an affliction. The same thing that Burris has going for, or that you have to know about Burris, you have to know about Reapers. The age matters, and track surface matters when you're talking about that age. So not always, but often, an older seasoned tire, both Burris and Reaper, are typically better than a new mold, tire out of the molds. A new Burris or a new Reaper directly out of the molds, you know, super fresh, are going to be oily. They have not taken their set yet. You're going to find a benefit out of both of those of having a stockpile, if you will, ages of those tires for speed. To whereas a Maxxis and a Vega really benefit from internal prepping and external prepping to keep the oils in the tire, to keep them gripped up longer. And then you get into Maxxis where, you know, you're going to have a week old tire. And what that means is how many weeks prior to a race did you internal roll them or re-roll them to know that that tire's good? If that makes any sense whatsoever, what I just said. Tires a king. You see who is fast and runs the factory settings. Most engines today are really close. Yeah. Yep. I rally against the tires are everything, because I mean, I'm no tire guru, but I'm no slouch on tires. And I know that, you know, I'm going out and, you know, I talk with friends and everything. This is what I did. And we're fairly equal on what we did to tires and everything. And then it comes down to, you know, how much camber you have in it, how much caster, what cross setting you're running. There's all sorts of parameters. So I don't like to fall into the, everybody goes, oh, it's tires. And it's just like, yes, but also no. So yes. I'm not running factory settings, especially up north. The Shatter right here, it's, you know, Southern built chassis. That down there, I I would be willing to bet that they run probably 59 to 60 left and probably 65 plus on cross. Up here, I don't care what you guys know, if you know my settings or not. Nobody runs this chassis. Up here in the north, or at least in New York, when I go down to Hunterstown, I'll be putting the left in it. I'll be putting the cross to it. But I ran this chassis and had fairly good results. I had fairly good speed the first time, only time I ran it. I was at 62 cross and 57 left. It's you need more right side bite. The more north you go, the slicker the tracks are, the softer the tracks are. You can't get away with that super high left side weight, and they don't love super high cross, in my opinion. Now, track depending. If a track is really rock hard and really get some bite into it, say Weedsport for instance. Weedsport, if I go there, I'll be running same. I'll be running more southern setup. I'll be running more left and more cross. Whereas I run AMS, I run Dreamfield Speedway, I run some of these, they got grip to them, but they're softer type tracks. I run less left and I run less cross. So yeah, and more rear stagger. We have a lot of tiny little bull rings now here in New York. So you're talking, 10th mile-ish, give or take. So you got to put 1.5 rear stagger at them at minimum. You can get away with a little less, 1 3/8, something like that. But usually 1.5 front and rear usually gets the job done. 1 5/8, 1 3/4 if it's a super tight turn. But then you are messing with the balance. You're messing with entry. You're messing with exit. You're not overly concerned with roll speed because of how small the tracks are. Your straightaways usually aren't that long. What PSI do I usually go to first time at a track? It depends. Southern tracks, 5 and 6, something that's super bit up. Something they use calcium on that gets real black real quick. 5 and 6 is pretty standard. You can run them up there a little bit more if it's a hot summer day or anything. Up north, standard for me is 3 and 4. Sometimes I dip below 2, 3, somewhere in there, but it also depends on tire. Maxxis, for instance, I experienced this firsthand. They do not like being run on super low pressure. Like the track out to Iowa was very similar to stuff that we have a tendency to run up here. It did get bite, and I was on Maxxis, and I tried to run them at a lower pressure. They do not appreciate it. You can't. Or you can, but it doesn't come off as good as you think it's gonna. I tried to run them down 2 and 3. It did not like it. As soon as I bumped my pressures up to 5 and 6, the tires definitely appreciated that. And I was told by my neighbor who was from the South, he was just like, "Yeah, Maxxis don't really care for that super low pressure." So depending on what tire you're on, if you're on a Reaper, a Vega, a Burris, I wouldn't hesitate at all to run them down a little bit. Get those sidewalls to work, get them to bite in if you have a soft surface that you need to get a hold of. But if you're on a harder type surface, even running those type tires, I'd be bumping my pressures up some. Right, nobody is running recommended tires, and driver makes them fast. Spec tire, no prep. Will only show driver and setup talent. Yeah, definitely. There is something, if you can enforce a prep rule, whether it be treads, whether it be slicks, if you have the means to afford to enforce a prep rule and make everybody run on dirty tires, or you allow them to be cleaned, but that's it. Water, if you're using a simple green, something like that, that's a big no. However you enforce it, the more you take prep out of the equation, the more setup and driver is definitely going to come into existence there. But again, like I said before, driver does pose a obstacle. If you are a driver who is subject to make mistakes, and you don't take runs when you have runs, you can't recognize runs when they come, you could be in trouble, you know, from a driving standpoint as well. 6 and 4, yep. More split. I got to do a video on that too. More running, more split, and yeah, I should jot that down. Hopefully, I remember. I don't have anything to write down on. Now I do. We're gonna do tire split. This is not ideal. And tire split. I'll do a video on tire split and my opinion on that. Just in general, what it does. But for those of you here in the conversation, bigger split between the two makes it turn a little better. If your cart is really close to balanced, but you're a little free, evening your tire split, running a 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 2 and 2, doesn't matter. That will take. It won't completely reverse what you got going on. It will just even the cart out. If it was a tick loose, it will help get rid of that tick loose. But if you needed to turn more, run a bigger split, softer tires, tip a little more. You also get better inside drive. The lower pressure typically, not always, but typically gets better drive than, you know, higher pressure. Just got my new Maxxis 26. Nice. Yeah, I don't even know what date these are. Let's take a peek. Oh, yeah, I just showed these. I got some whites. Now, I wanted to get Vega yellows, but because of the channel, I need to know. I got to know what makes these things tick. And everybody has told me that they are similar to a Vega yellow. Obviously, the construction's a little different. I want to know what makes these things tick. So, open tire track. I probably will attempt to use them. I plan on going to State Line. These are... What is that? I forgot how to read these. That's driving me nuts. 1623? No, they're not 23s, are they? There's no way. It might be a 23. No, it's 3 years old. I doubt that. Because they're all about out of them last time I was there. Yeah, maybe they're. Anyway, I'll have to re-figure out that. But State Line typically takes a Vega yellow. I believe they're an open tire track. And I plan to run there July 3rd for the Nolan Graves Memorial Race. Whether or not I take the open, I'm not sure. I will definitely have Vegas with me for that track if that is the case. I'll probably be on my old Vegas. I can't afford more tires at the moment, but I plan on running them. I might run them on the clone, see what they do. Started last year. I'm fairly new to karting. Started last year. Do you think you could show me what you mean by settings and balance? I will reference you to this channel. There is, how do I say this? So settings, if you go to a manufacturer or if you bought a cart from somebody and they give you numbers, you would put your cart on scales and then you have percentages that your cart will scale at. So we'll say a standard, this isn't every manufacturer. I will just give you a base premise here when I'm talking about it. So they're gonna mention cross, and here we'll look at the cart when I'm talking about this. How's that? Cross is the pressure between your left rear and right front. That is your cross number. Nose weight, obviously, is going to be your percentage of how much nose weight you have, the same as left side weight. So they're going to have these numbers. You're going to have a cross number, a left number, and a nose number. Obviously, the nose number is opposite. They don't typically give you a rear, but sometimes they do. Those are going to be your percentages. Now, they're also going to give you your camber and caster. So your camber is judged here. Standard is, somewhere around 10 and 7. Some manufacturers are a little different. And then your caster, caster and your camber is going to be how much this is tipped up and down. So we'll say a standard setup would be negative 2.5 right front camber. And then this could be, your left front is going to be either even or positive. So this tips down, say, 0.5 to 1, depending on what type of track you are or something like that. Those are your settings. Now, your settings are going to give you your balance. If a cart is balanced, it's not going to be loose. It's not going to be tight. It is going to be very neutral. So you can turn, the cart just goes around the turn. Now, when your percentages are off, your balance gets off, and your balance would be you getting tight or getting loose, either in, through the center, or off the corner. That's the balance of your cart. So there's a quick rundown of it, but I'm not selling my channel here. But if you're on here, I have a lot of videos on cross settings, your percents, camber, caster, all sorts of stuff. I know I'm long-winded, I talk, but that's the basis of this channel here. So if you care to learn, I can give you a general premise here, but I go into more depth on what these things do. What is a split, like left and right tire? Yes, split is left and right tires. So, no, I have never run reverse pressures. I know some people that have, and they say it really works on some types of tracks. I just have never done it. I always run a 1 pound split between left. So left side's always softer than the right side. I run a 1 pound split in between the two. Sometimes I've run up to 2 or even. I've never actually gone reverse. I've never had more pressure in my left sides than my right sides. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. I just have never, ever tried it or felt the need to do that. But yes. Where do I get a scale for my balance? Balance would be even. Balance would be an even tire patch. Yes. Your right front is gonna. There's another video. I should probably write that down. You can gauge how much your right front is engaging with the track by where the dirt is left on it. And some people even go as far as to make a mark around take a marker, like a silver marker or something like that, and make a mark all the way around the wheel. So when you enter the corner, this tire, your right front, pardon guys, sorry, I got my holding my stand. So this tire is doing this. If this is too far up, you're only going to get a wear pattern, or you're only going to get the dirty part of the tire. So we take a tire. Your right front, you're looking at it like this. I know it's backwards, but when you have too much camber, you're only going to get this portion of the tire dirty. When your tire is laid down and equaling the banking in the track, you're going to have contact between both sides of the tire. And lay it flat. Now, take NASCAR, for instance, they put a lot of right front camber in it, and to get it to roll over that, and that too has an effect. So the more you tip that up, the more it has a tendency to do this, and that can mess with your entry. It could also make things better. For as simple as carts are, they're extraordinarily complex because you have to be more precise in your adjustments. So yeah, scales, you can find them used or new. If you wanted to buy brand new, I'm going to suggest JC Specialties. They are an expense. They are not cheap. I have $400 or $500, or maybe $600. I don't know. They're not cheap. If you want a cheap version of that, what you do is you have to have a level surface to have them on. A floor or something like that is darn near tootin' level, and you could get 4 bathroom scales. Now you would get on the scales, 4 under each tire. You sit there, and then you would have somebody go around and read how much weight is on every tire. You write down right front, right rear, left front. And then you have to add them all together, and you get an overall number. And then you can add like your left sides, and then divide that into the overall number. That will give you your left side percent. There's a way to do it without digital scales, without something like I have. So, 1 second, guys. And I'm dropping the broom. So I have Longacre. That's one of the major Longacre comp scales, and there's 10-inch pads over there that all connect via these wires. But in here, probably turn it on if it's not, my batteries aren't dead. It's not going to read anything. You see this? It's going to give me my cross, stuff like that. Wheel weights. If we go to partial, it allows me to. This is going to give me left side, right front. It's going to give me all the percentages where I'm set at. So I can sit in the cart with my cart on the scales and actually read where everything is. Then you take the cart off. If it's not where you want it to be, you make an adjustment, put it back on the scales. I'm surprised these batteries have lasted as long as they have. Usually I have to replace them once a year, but I've been pretty good about shutting them off. Sometimes I sit in my cart just thinking about what I'm going to do. I've been real good about turning off the scales before I sit there and contemplate things. Find someone at the track. Most will help newcomers scale, or if anyone fails, parts vendor almost always will scale for a small fee. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's when you're new getting to the track, it's not that hard to make friends. And then if you're able to, just mention, hey, if they don't have scales, they may know somebody that has scales. Just kind of set up a session, like they were saying that some people are willing just to help a brother out, type of thing. That's usually the case. If not, some people, if they're real good, they're professional at it, and that's what they do, type of thing. There will be a nominal fee, if that's the word I want to use there. But yeah, yep. Great channel. Tire patch means grip, but unloading the turn goes a long way. Yes, yeah. That's definitely your transfer rate is another thing, and the effects on that. So right front camber has a ton to do with that. Also, your staggers have a lot to do with that. So how fast, how quickly, or how slowly when you enter a turn, weight transfers from rear to front. That's how well it will turn. And then how fast it transfers back to the rear when you're trying to get off the turn. Yes. Hey, what's going on? We've got just talking some karts and stuff. But yeah, I guess I could bring you guys over here, switch this around real quick here. Hey, look, I was a long jump guy back in school like a million years ago. There's the Bama. There's the 250. So right here, those are my scale pads. Once you get away from all the crap there, and right here, or the scale stand, and there are the scale pads. I got track tech. That's weird. I got so much crap in this barn. Yeah. There's Kart 63 Studio. It's a wall with a whole bunch of stuff on it. Almost got the Recon ready for the 14. Awesome. I'm really debating on going to Hunterstown the 21st. We'll see. We'll see. If not, WKA Commonwealth Nationals are at Hunterstown April 4th, I think it is. So I kind of wanted to get a run in on Reapers before the Selinsgrove Attack of the Clones. So we'll see. I've been to Hunterstown a bunch of times, and I know that everybody's anticipation is to go to the track and win. I am still in the phase of clone racing, where I am learning. I'm learning tires. I'm learning what it takes to make these things work. I am getting better. But it's been when you race opens for as long as I have. I mean, when I started racing in 2002, I was on flathead for half a year. And then we went to KT 100, which was, a bump from obviously an alcohol burning flathead to, say an 18 horsepower KT 100 two-stroke. And then I raced that for 4 years. And then I went to open. So 125 Reed. I went to those opens. Maybe it was 135 cc Reed at that time. And then I started running UAS, and I ran UAS from like 2006 to, I still run UAS stuff. So up until, I think I ran my first clone kart in 2024. 2024? Maybe it's the end of 23. I think it was the end of 23. I ran my first clone kart in 23, so I only have 3 years under my belt running a clone. You would think a kart's a kart. They're different. It's a different style of racing. It's a different set of adjustments. It's just a whole learning curve. I don't have the, all that horsepower behind my right foot anymore. Get us anyway. Almost got the Reconner. Gonna run the open. Awesome. Getting ready for the second annual Peach State 100. Sweet. I don't quite remember the name, but do you usually do a warm-up before the actual races? Yeah. So every track I've ever been to has practice. And then after practice, you will have either, it depends on the series, it depends on the track. Pretty standard is heat races. Now, some tracks run heat races, so they'll run one heat race and then they'll invert the field and run a second heat race. That's not usually the case. I'm just saying some. Standardly, you run heat races, and sometimes they divide up the amount of karts. If you have a lot of karts in that class, they're going to run multiple heat races to put everybody into the feature event. But there's usually, more track time in those. If you go to a bigger race, such as Selinsgrove, such as Hunterstown, they're going to have practice, and sometimes there's more than one practice. There's an early practice and a late practice. It really depends on the format and the series and stuff like that. But then you'll just have 3 to 4 laps of qualifying. You run your qualifying. That sets the table for the feature event. So there's less track time when you run a bigger race, but it's a bigger event. Like when you enter in these bigger events, you should know that you're going up against some serious competition, and you should have your ducks in a row, so to speak. Like I would never suggest a brand new person to racing karts to go to something like a Maximilian race or, a big, the PA. You can go to watch, that's great. But if you plan on entering and you don't have the equipment, the know-how to, you're going to be in trouble. I'm not saying don't do it. You can do it. Obviously, free country, knock yourselves out. But you might best be running locally. Learn your chops, learn your kart, get more experience type of thing before you go ahead and spend the money to enter into these really big races. It is a different experience altogether. I've been to a few, VDKA, FKA. I've been to some pretty big, the Grand Nationals is probably, one of the, not kart-wise the biggest events, but in open racing, the pinnacle. I've been to quite a few of those, and I've not qualified for the main event in UAS Grand Nationals 3 or 4 times. So, yeah. 28th. Cochran Motor Speedway, Ben Hur Speedway, we're running qualifying and features. Oh, yeah, okay. Yep. Hey, Ben, hope all is well. Hey, what's going on? Get your ducks in a row by running multiple classes, the same kart, to maximize seat time. You feel the adjustment and learn how the tracks, so you change throughout either day. Yeah, very true. It's been a I won't say adjustment for me, but running 2 classes, you know, I've only done it once, no, I've run a couple times. You know, you hear about clone racers running 5, 6 classes, and that's crazy talk to me because I spent so long in UAS that I only ran UAS. I took one kart, and that was my open kart, and that's what we raced. When you go to these bigger events that have 22 classes, and you have pro, no pro, warm up, all these classes, people do exactly what they're saying. What they're saying right here is, in order to get a gauge on the balance of your cart and the tires and what the track is starting to do, what it's not starting to do, to get all this feel, people run a lot of classes. They may have only the intention of winning the big class, but they run the other classes to get track time to be fast in that class. Or it's too much. Yeah, that my opinion videos don't usually do all that great, but yeah, that's a fiery topic if I've ever heard one. The class structure, and I understand why they do it, and I don't want to dog on them too bad, but we're not a sponsored type of thing. We don't have a major sponsor. We don't have an O'Reilly's. We don't have a Xfinity. We don't have this major corporate money in kart racing. We feed ourselves. The money that, people ask, why is parking so expensive? It's because the parking pays for the purse. So you are paying for everything there by doing that. And then when you enter into your no pros, into your warm-ups, into your pros, that money is also thrown in the till. And that's when they advertise $2,000 to win, the money has to come from somewhere. Unless you have a primary sponsor for that event, that's where the money has to come from. Either that or out of the promoter's pocket. But that's, I understand everybody's gripe on, parking. Matter of fact, for Attack of the Clones, I just got a spot myself. Cheap guy. I did get a spot, but I only bought the $40 one. I didn't go for the sponsor one. But that's where money for the purse ultimately comes from. You may get some small sponsors that may kick in this or kick in that a little bit here and there. But let's be real. When an event like I want to say that Attack of the Clones entire purse for all the classes was going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20 grand or something. That has to come from somewhere. They might have a little bit of outside sponsorship, but the tendency is because when you're a sponsor of the event, you get the premium parking spots. You pay $300 for 2 parking spots. And you think that's crazy. You're a sponsor of the event. That money goes into the till, pays for the big races. Just the way things work, until we are able to break out of the mold, which, I haven't seen it yet. Been in kart racing for 24 years this year. I haven't seen the big sponsor come in. We've had some pretty big money races, but we've never seen, like a corporate entity come in and invest in that and know that they're going to get their money back, like a NASCAR or something like that. It's very difficult. We're in a very niche sport. As passionate about it as you and I are, it's a very niche sport. A lot of people, the tire video shows there, people ask if it's an F1 tire, and it's just like, it's on a 6-inch rim. Like some people just don't know what karting is. And that's, I hope between this channel, between all the vlog style channels, Kart Speed Solutions, the guys on Facebook, Ultimate Kart Media, all the social media uprising of the karters. I hope that spreads the word and gets us more gets us more eyeballs on what we do and what we love. Yeah, the classes is too much though. Most I've done is 3. Yeah, I could see doing 3. I could see doing 3 if I took my 2 kart. If I had a UAS ride to run and then running 2 clone races. Clone racing can whoop you if your kart setup is off, but I mean, comparable. They're not comparable. the exhaustion level I get out of the UAS ride compared to the clone, it ain't there, man. I could see running, 3 classes in clone and being perfectly fine with it. But if I were to have to run the UAS ride 3 times, absolutely not. Absolutely not. 2 heats and a feature per class. Nice. 3 different car was yeah, three different. I'm sure sometimes clone can whoop you when it's on to. Oh yeah, no. If your cart's digging, yeah, I did. I have a tendency to say that, and it's probably incorrect. If your cart is digging, if it is in the track and you are just hauling the mail, chances are you're feeling some serious G-forces. You may not be sawing on the wheel as much, but your core strength will take a whooping. When it just lays you into the seat, whether it be a clone or an open, it takes a lot out of you, and especially your concentration has a lot to do with your breathing. These are also things that you need to, I would love to make videos on that. I did one on exercise and being physically fit for kart racing, but the mental side of things, if you're not breathing correctly, I just don't think the videos will do all that well. Honestly, I'd love to endeavor into some theories on what's going on there with breathing, with being in shape and everything, but I'm not sure anybody to watch it. I've got fresh burns from last year's clone. Yeah, that's I had something going on. I don't think it was because both engines did it. I felt like this. It's got to be the jacket I'm wearing. Something was going on. It felt like it's shocking me through the pipe guard there, through the plate. I told the engine builder about it. He says, I don't think so. It's not misfiring or anything. Had it on the dyno and it behaved on track, but it felt like something was shocking me. It was very strange. But both engines did it, so I don't think that was. I think it had to have been something with my jacket or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Fresh burns from last year. Yeah, there's a 50 lapper that goes on every year down at that local bull ring I run, and me laying over on the pipe. Now I will say this: that was on the Phantom. I was on the Recon, and I could never get away from the engine. Like my spacing was just different. That I have plenty of room. I am off that plate. I don't know what it is about the rail spacing where the seat is set. My percentages are right where I want them to be. Matter of fact, I was able to get less left in the thing, and I don't feel as if I'm butted right up against the engine. And I raced the Dreamfield there, and I didn't feel it at all. Like I was like, this is fantastic. It also might be some of the seat. So I was running the Phantom next gen seats. I've just been running a long time. They're not uncomfortable. I changed to the Evolution. And the Evolution is, in my opinion, a far comfier seat. I had a lot of people talk about the Chavis being really good, but the Evolution looked like it was right up my alley. I got one. It's awesome. Hecka awesome. And I got an Evolution for the UAS ride as well. So I'm changing those over. That's going to be just fantastic for me, just being comfortable in the seat. But yeah. I will lose. If you look on Amazon and put in, I can't remember exactly, propane torch or what is it called? What's creme brulee? Yeah. They use it standardly for starting campfires or for whatever word is escaping me. For creme brulee, they use them for cooking, for braising steaks and stuff like that. But yeah, if you searing. If you type in even propane gun, that might get you on Amazon or in Google. If you don't have Amazon, use Google. I know they're on. I've seen them on eBay. But yeah, I can't remember exactly. 1 second, I might have the box in here. I do. Cooking torch. Cooking torch. It is a Koackl. 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 It's green. Yeah. And then, yeah, remember this. If you do get one, they put the sticker in there. Hey, you. Don't turn the gas all the way on when you're trying to light it. It will not light. Just a little bit of gas and click, 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 click. But yeah. Yeah, that was... The funny story was I bought this for a gag. I mean, I knew I could use it. We do RVing. My RV is right there. I knew I could use it for RVing, for starting up the campfires and everything. So... But I bought it as a gag. Like, I wanted to do the video where I was just like, I was using a standard torch and like, this isn't good enough. And then I get that thing up and go, ha! You know, I bought it as a gag knowing full well I could use it. As it turns out, way better. Way better than a standard torch. Way better pattern on the heat. Heats up the tire a lot quicker. It doesn't focus the heat on the tire to destroy it nearly. It has a bigger plume, has a rosebud. We call those a rosebud when you're using like a propane or acetylene torch. It creates a way bigger swath there, so it has a tendency to cause less hot spots. But yeah. I found you're the best thing. You're very welcome. But yeah, we're an hour and 10 minutes here. I appreciate everybody coming by. I'd let you know what Sunday's video is going to be, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I will tell you this. I had full intentions of doing interviews at JC Specialties. I went down there this past weekend. I didn't talk about that at all. That was fun. And I totally chickened out. I don't know that I was intimidated. I know I've met all the guys that were there, all the Donnie Nall and Denver Smith. I met them last year, and conversations were good and everything. But as it turns out, the overwhelming pressure in my own head that I was going to interview people was just too much for me to take. I took all my equipment. I took my brand new GoPro with me. I took the microphones. I chickened out, and I didn't do it at all. Oh, man. I'll probably say something on Sunday's video about it. Make fun of myself because I'm really good at doing that. But yeah, that was... I told Cliff, the owner of JC, I'm like, hey, by the way, I chickened out. And he's like, that's cool. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. New video Sunday. We'll be back here next Thursday for another live stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, talk about the seats. And do you have that? And have you got from, and you have got from them. Do it. Oh, yeah. All right. Right. Okay. Sorry. I'm not reading very well. Later, guys.